Welcome, folks. Welcome and welcome back. I know some of you were on with the call, on the call we had prior to this with the amazing team in Grass Valley at the hangar. So if you are joining us for both calls, thank you. We've got an equally amazing team with joining us today from Calexico Unified. And so we're going to jump in that in just a minute. Folks are still trickling in. And Francis, I know you're letting folks in as we do that. I'm gonna start with just quick opening notes, and then we'll do some introductions. But before we do that, I wanted to just, like I said, that this is being recorded. Just want to make sure that everyone is aware of that. You know the drill. If you aren't speaking, just make sure you're muted. If you can share your video, that's great. We will also be spotlighting our panelists later. And then please use the chat to share information. And again, we would love to open it up more and have folks come off mic more, but just given our limited time together in 45 minutes, we're gonna stick mostly to chat. So we're gonna kick it off with some introductions here. Just get a little bit of context, a little bit of background about the sites down in Calexico. We're gonna watch two really short videos, and then I'll invite you to take some notes on that. Or in your journal or in a worksheet, and not a worksheet. Anyways, it's a piece of paper with some prompts. I guess that's a worksheet, right? Francis is going to drop that in the chat. It's a link that will invite you to make your own copy. And it just has a couple simple prompts that you might find helpful as you learn about Calexico and their use of ProSolve's program Quest today. We will then have some Q&A with the panel, and then time permitting, open it up for more questions. Don't know if we'll have time for that, but we'll try. And then we'll wrap it up and share a link to some resources as well. So with that, I'll introduce myself and invite you all to, if you want to drop in the chat, all of our participants here, go ahead and drop in the chat your name, your role, and where you are. While we're getting started with also the panel will introduce themselves. I'm Julie Groll. I'm with ASAPconnect. We partner with California After School Network on a lot of statewide initiatives. I head up our operations, and our team is all over the state. I live in San Jose, but we literally go from one end of the state to the other. Our small but mighty team. Thank you, Sherilyn and Carmela. Thank you, Mia, Bay Point. All right. Look at you. We're all over the place. All over the state. Thank you all. Elk Grove nearby. All right. Thanks, Susie. Okay. I'm going to invite our panelists to introduce themselves. And as they're doing that, I'm going to spotlight them. And just for some quick introductions. Esmeralda, let's start with you. Look at you. You've got a slide. You guys are amazing. Thanks, Erica.
Hi, everyone. My name is Esmeralda Garcia. I am the Director of Expanded Learning for Calexico Unified School District. I am in my 11th year in education and 10 years involved in these after-school programs and in after-school in general. So I'm super excited to be here and share a glimpse of our programs here in Calexico. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erica Hermosillo, and I'm the coordinator for the Expanded Learning Program here in Calexico. I've been in education, I believe this is my 8th year. I was previously a teacher, and over the last 2 years, I've been in expanded learning.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashley Villanueva. I am one of the program managers here in Calexico, and this is gonna be my 8th year working for the programs here.
Hi everyone, I'm Katia Mezquita. I am also a program manager here in Calexico, and this is my 3rd year working for the after school program.
All right, well, thank you all. Did I miss anyone?
Savannah?
I'm Savannah. I'm a student at Kiki Junior High in Calexico.
Savannah, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right, so before we watch the video, would one of our amazing panelists would give us a little bit of context about Calexico USD and just to give us a little context about what we're gonna see.
Absolutely, Julie. Again, thank you for having us today and spotlighting our programs. Calexico is a border town. We border Mexico. We have a student population with an unduplicated rate of about 90%. So we have very needy students, and we have multiple funding sources that we use to provide programming for our students. We are super excited to provide programming every single day, as you know, other expanded learning programs do, and we also go above and beyond in our intersession days. The state requires 30 days for the school year. We average about 46 to 48 days in a school year. And what that means is we got to get really creative. And so we are super excited to have been partnering with Quest. I believe we're in our 3rd year with partnering with Quest. They have been a great addition to our programs as we strive to make our students better equipped with those 21st century skills, problem solving, collaboration, communication. And so we're really proud of the work that we've been doing in the after school programs. Here in Calexico, we are a TK-12 school district, and we have programs at 12 different school sites ranging in PK through 12th grade. And so we're very excited. Our programming ranges, but we use Quest at every single school site. We have it available for every single student that wants to play. And so we are very excited with the strides that we've been able to do here with our students. And so I hope you guys enjoy this snippet of our programs.
Thank you, Esmeralda. And just a little bit of context. The idea for this came about because my team, we support a school district that has purchased Quest for all of their after-school programs, but they're not using it. And so we thought, you know what? There might be some other folks in that same situation where they've used their ELOP dollars to buy this amazing program, but they're not using it. Or, you know, they're not quite sure what it is. They've heard about it, but they haven't seen it. ProSolve is a generous sponsor of the California After School Network's Site Coordinator Symposium. So there's another reason. But so anyways, so that's our reason behind this spotlight today. And we just knew that there's this great success story in Calexico to share. So I just wanted to share that context, and let me cue up our first video. Here we go. All right.
Welcome to Quest.
Quest is kind of like an adventure game. You have to think your every move, just like in real life. Everybody can experience it in different ways. It's about making friends.
It's teaching us like how to use like teamwork. That's a lot of fun because we're communicating with each other a lot.
I just love Quest. Here, so it goes southeast. Southwest.
The biggest challenge in education today is engagement. It's holding that interest and keeping students not just engaged in what we're teaching, but also for them to own their learning and to be excited about it.
It gives them the opportunity to have their voice heard rather than a teacher telling them, hey, do this step by step. They figure out how they want to do it. All we're there to kind of do is say, okay, this didn't work. What else can we try?
I just love the fact that the kids are excited. They're not bored of it. And when they're excited, I'm excited. We're all excited, and secretly they're learning.
This is our 3rd year in implementing Quest, and what I get from the kiddos is just excitement, it's happiness, it's laughter, and more than anything, they can't wait to come back.
Students work on communication skills, problem solving with each other, learning how and when it's appropriate to make decisions for themselves.
The research shows that Quest activities really gives them a sense of deeper learning because they have to utilize all of their academic skills. Having students have that experience as soon as elementary is important and sets them up for great success in their junior high and high school careers.
It's in a pattern, guys.
It is so cool to be able to see the kids' growth throughout all the weeks.
Quest puts the characters through the entire lesson. They're continually being exposed to it through every single scenario that they have. And so that whole play base is what kids love.
Doesn't matter if we lose, it just matters that we all get to help and we all get to have fun. Let's go!
All right, so that was a little snippet to show you Quest in action, and now I have another short video that's specific to the experience that Calexico has been having. So let me cue that up.
Okay, when I say ready, you guys say set. Ready? Set! Here in Calexico this year, we set out to have an engineering type of summer. Our goal is just
Okay, that was like crazy buffering. I don't know what it was doing. I'm going to try one more time.
Julie, I put the link to YouTube for that video right there in the chat. So if the buffering is going to keep us from checking it out, the team can head to the chat and find the YouTube video right there.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate it. We ran this beforehand and it was fine, and then all of a sudden my computer decided to have a buffering issue. Anyways, you missed a super cool video. Please check that out. What we'll do, let's yes, please bookmark that and come back to it if that sounds okay. And Lindsay, I did not introduce you and Julie Porter. My apologies.
Oh, it's not about us. No, no, don't worry.
I know.
We're here from ProSolve. We love Quest, we love Calexico, and so we're just excited to support. And anyone who will be in person at the symposium, we will see you there tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Lindsay. And Julie Porter from ProSolve is joining us here as well. Again, I am so sorry for the technical difficulties, you guys. Just a quick 1-minute video. Please do make a point of watching that. We'll share it after in it'll be available in the materials for this event afterward as well. Let's jump into Q&A, and we can probably cover some of the cool stuff that was in the video in a slightly different way. So first question to the panel is, how did the partnership between Quest and Calexico USD, how did that get started? Esmeralda, you said you think it's been about 3 years.
Yes, it's been about 3 years. And honestly, we attended Symposium 3 years ago, and Lindsay and her wonderful team at the time had an escape room set up. They also had facilitated a session where you got to learn about Quest. And I had a team with me. We did the escape room. We were super pumped. We did their workshop, and my staff loved it. And we just thought, if adults are having this much fun, we can only imagine what the kids would do with the program like Quest. So we contacted Quest, we had a conversation with them, we met with them, we purchased the materials. It was during the initial unaudited monies of ELOP, and we bought it and it sat on a shelf. I know, Julie, you mentioned as we came on, there's a site that has bought it. They have it. It's sitting there, and that was us the first year. We couldn't get it off the ground. We had the PD. Quest was amazing in supporting us, but it was just internal structure and equipment that we were lacking. And so we identified quickly what we needed. We started getting our stuff together. And in that whole process, ProSolve and their team were amazing. They kept checking in on us, like, where can we support? And so after a year of it sitting on a shelf, and once we were able to get our computers and technology in place, the next logical step was just moving forward. And so we reached out again to ProSolve and we said, hey, we really just need help. Just help us get this off the ground. And their team is amazing. We couldn't have launched it without them and their support. And so as soon as we launched it, we knew it was going to be successful. It pretty much does what it needs to do on its own. We just facilitate the learning and the students have a great time. So in short, how did we begin? Just by getting excited to play ourselves and always reaching out to Lindsay and her team. They really have been the key to us getting it off the ground and keeping it in play. They often will check in on us, will, ask us if we need support. And so we are very grateful to them.
Thank you, Esmeralda. And in the video you mentioned it, but would love to learn more from you and your team about how has using the Quest program, how has that made an impact in student learning and student engagement in your after school programs?
So students look forward to attending our program because they're excited to play Quest. So we'll get students and they'll be like, Miss Amezquita, when are we starting Quest? I can't wait. We played it this summer and it was so fun. And I also believe that students are learning through the challenges and making friends, making new connections, and they're having so much fun. So that's how we have these students learning and making new friends, and they don't even know it.
So they don't even know they're learning, Katya? Or they don't realize they're learning? Thanks, Katya. Can anyone on the panel share, is there kind of a standout success story, or maybe one particular story that that you'd want to share?
You know, Quest, when we first started here in Calexico, we targeted our upper grades because the original seasons really they really needed the kids to be able to read and write, right? Like they had to have some basic skills. So last year we were able to jump on with Star Force, which is the lower grades program, and I cannot say enough about the magic that happens in a kindergarten class when they're playing this game. We have kids, we have kindergartners, ELs that struggle with expressing themselves, not in Quest. I walked into a classroom, kinder classroom, and those kids were engaged 100%. There's some students that not only were ELs, but also participated in our special education program, had some, varying needs. But to be in that classroom and see them express themselves to their peers and be part of a team to win challenges for their team and gather stickers and coins and all of all of that Quest has to offer, that's the true success story. Because when that child moves on to the next grade level, they're going to be able to verbalize in the classroom their learning. And that's truly the success story that I saw with Quest this summer with Kinder. I was hesitant. I'm not gonna lie. Kinder is a special, it has a special place in my heart because they're so tiny. But we launched it. We said, feet first, here we go. And I cannot tell you how impactful it is on those children. Just their ability to verbalize things they couldn't verbalize at the beginning of summer was the true success story. So kudos to Star Force and Lindsay and her team because it's an amazing program.
Thanks, Esmeralda. Yeah, it's great to think about. Yeah, in my mind, it's like, oh, it's like a 3rd to 5th grade, right? But thank you for saying like the success you've seen with the much younger students. You mentioned earlier about, you said, oh, we just facilitate and then the kids do the learning. So what role do the facilitators play? And the facilitators are your staff, correct? But tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Yes, so the facilitators are our tutors, and they act as the expert in Quest. So they're the guide. They set the tone for engaging all students through collaboration, communication, just to get them through from one episode to another. ProSolve provides the PD for our staff, for those who are going to facilitate Quest. And so through this, they're able to familiarize themselves with the language, the challenges, and just everything that they need to be the expert in that room.
Thank you, Erica. I couldn't find you to spotlight you. For some reason, you were down at the end. Thank you for that. So what feedback do you hear from the staff? What are you hearing from the staff directly?
Our staff love it. I remember one of the first PDs that we had, and I just remember walking into the room, and then I hear everyone screaming, and they have like their swags and the tubes and the pom-poms, and they're cheering. So like I know that they genuinely like it. They want to play it themselves. I know whenever we go to like Symposium or booths, like I'm always looking for the Quest session just because I want to play it myself. Um, but no, they love it. They see how much fun the kids have, and then like they say they don't even know that they're learning through playing the game. Through they're learning communication, collaboration, problem solving, critical thinking, and no, it's just a fun experience for the facilitators. They like seeing the kids enjoying it and how excited they get once they get to like the final episodes.
Thanks, Ashley. And another question I had, Esmeralda, you talked about your English learners a little bit, and a little bit about, you know, your other diverse students. Are there, I guess, with your English learners specifically, what can you share with folks about about that experience?
So with Quest, we support our English learners, our diverse students, because in Quest, every student has a role. No one's excluded from it. Like I said, they get to practice all these skills, the problem solving through discussing with their teammates. There's a lot of visual aids, auditory aids, and it's pretty hands-on. And with all these modes of learning, they support all of our students' needs, especially our ELs. And I think just in fact that it's interactive, it helps too. And in Quest, everyone's on the same level. Everyone's learning how to play the game. It's all brand new to them. So they're learning together. No one's higher than the other. And just through solving the different challenges with each other, it's like we've said it's learning disguised through play.
Secret learning, right? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Ashley. So you mentioned a little bit earlier about how, Katya, you were talking about how kids were saying, "Oh, we loved playing, you know, we loved playing Quest in the summer, you know, when is it coming back?" What is anything else that you all can share with us about what you hear from students or even families?
I'm gonna ask Savannah to share with us the student perspective on this, and then I'll jump into the family's perspective. So Savannah, can you share with us about playing Quest and you know, what do you like about it? Just tell us about your experience with Quest.
My experience with Quest is it helps build team bonding and it helps kids like create bonds that they don't even know that they're making. And it helps learn new skills and it helps a lot, especially with me because my social skills aren't that good. So it helps me build bonds I don't even know I'm making.
So secret learning and secret bonding, that's what I'm hearing.
And just, you know, just to further what Savannah said, you know, earlier I asked her, I said, so what happens when there is a student that you maybe don't know or maybe don't get along with, you know, like how do you work together? And she said, we just have to. We have to be a team. And so, you know, it really teaches students to go above and beyond like the superficial and maybe what happened on the playground. They know that they need to work together because they're one house, one team. And in order to be successful, they need to use each other's skills to move forward in the game. And it does teach them about collaboration. It teaches them about problem solving with, you know, their peers, you know, and others around them. So it's really, you know, the secret learning, there's a lot to it. But to further share, our families don't really understand, to be honest with you. They don't really understand what Quest is. They just know that kids are upset if they come to pick them up during Quest time or before Quest is done for the day. And so we have parents show up and say, I want to know if my kid's already been to Quest. Because if they haven't, I don't want to pick them up. I want to wait until they're done with their Quest session before I take them home. So in short, I can tell you that, you know, our families appreciate it because the kids are so engaged in the program that, you know, it helps our attendance. It helps keep them on campus longer. And also, you know, that learning through play, you just can't get a better result from that.
Thank you, Esmeralda and Savannah. I appreciate it. you mentioned attendance. Is there, has using Quest influenced other programs or other efforts or initiatives in the district?
Definitely. As I mentioned, we do see specific days that Quest is offered. We see students that just don't want to miss those days. But I would say that one of the other initiatives that we support through Quest is the development of verbal skills for our ELs. As a district, we have a high level of ELs. We're a border town, we border Mexico. Most, if not all, students are bilingual, or pretty close, to 100%. And so our students struggle. They really struggle with that academic language. What's really neat is that they're getting to listen and practice at the same time. And so our facilitators, while they're not going to tell them, no, you cannot speak Spanish, they are facilitating in English. They are modeling the English language. We do a lot of work in our program to provide professional development for our staff in literacy development and implementation of curriculums, where they are modeling the English language for the students. And when they have them in class and they are listening to the play, they will give them the phrases to use, kind of like sentence starters. Why? Because we need them to continue to develop these skills. And what better way than among their peers? And the other thing is that we try to pair them with their peer with, you know, we don't allow them to just stick with their friends. We try to distribute so that we distribute them with their strengths as well, so that they're able to hear some of their peers that may be more fluent and they can model the English language for them. And so we've really seen those initiatives that we push forward impacted by the use of Quest.
That is so great to hear, Esmeralda. And I was actually going to ask about the facilitation, if it's done bilingual, and you answered my question. No, they facilitate in English. So you preempted a question of mine. I guess to wrap it up, what would you say to other districts or agencies, education agencies that might be considering Quest, or might already have it and aren't using it yet? What advice would you have for them?
Honestly, my advice is reach out to Lindsay and her team. Lindsay, Julie, all of the all of the ProSolve, staff that we have spoken to, have had the honor of, having them visit us and provide professional development. They're all amazing. Everyone on the ProSolve team is amazing and are super supportive. They quickly answer our emails, our questions, and so don't hesitate to reach out to them. And if you don't have Quest, you need to have Quest. Your kids will love you for it. Trust me, your numbers will definitely show it. We have, kids that come only because we do Quest. That's not a lie. Like I cannot tell you enough how many kids love this program. And it's super simple once you get it off the ground. I think we get so tied up in like the anxiety of how am I going to do this, and the ProSolve make it look super easy. Like it can't be that easy. It is. Once you get it off the ground, it's super easy to manage, and the kids love it. So don't hesitate. Jump in feet first. Lindsay and her team have got your back.
Thank you so much, Esmeralda, Katya, Erica, Ashley, and Savannah. Thank you all so much for answering those questions that we had. I want to give everyone just a couple minutes. Francis, if you don't mind, if you can drop in the link to that form again, or actually just put in the chat here. Let me do it. I've got it right here. Just some thoughts of things that just things to think about. I want to just take, we always try to make time for reflection in what we do. So just want to give everyone just a minute or two to think about what are some highlights? What are some things that you're taking away here, either from the questions, the Q&A session, or what ideas this is sparking. So just for your own reference, just take a minute, and then we'll come back and wrap it up. We might even have time for a couple questions. And Lindsay, while folks are doing that, if you want to drop your contact info in the chat, that would be great.
Happily.
Take our amazing panel out of the magnifying glass here. All right. All right. Well, thanks again to our panel. We do have just a couple minutes. If anyone wants to come off mute or drop a question or a comment in the chat, anything at all, any questions you have, or maybe your own experience using Quest in your programs. Great question. Carmela asks, how long do they last? Oh, a session. Lindsay, you want to take that one?
Sure. Depends. Typically 45 minutes to 90 minutes of gameplay. Quest has up to 40 hours of activities. So really depends on your program, and Julie's amazing team will work through a custom pacing guide for every partner. So we, whether it's after school or summer, work to fit it into your need.
So when you say 45 to 90 minutes?
Yeah. So Esmeralda, how long do your sessions run?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. So 45 minutes during after school is typical for us. And 90 minutes during summer. Every single of our rotations is 90 minutes. And again, I can't reiterate enough what Lindsay said. Julie and her team, they're amazing, and they will, take the information we give them. Like, we'll reach out and say, hey, we're gonna do it twice a week for 90 minutes, but I need to get through the season. So how am I going to make it happen? And they break it down by day, by week. And so again, ProSolve is a great partner, and they won't leave you high and dry. They will walk you through every step and make it easy for you. So definitely check them out.
Thank you all. And thanks, Carmela. Great question. Appreciate you asking. Anything else in these last few minutes? You guys are being shy, and I realize it's 4:12. So batteries are running low. I get it. Thanks, Elva. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap it up. with a chat waterfall. And for those of you who were in our session earlier with the Grass Valley team, you know the drill. So to wrap it up with final thoughts, think of you know, kind of a word or phrase that's coming to mind right now of something you're taking away from this session. And don't put it in, you can put it in the chat, but don't hit send yet. And what we're going to do is I'll tell you when in about 30 seconds, and then everyone's going to hit send all at one time, and it looks like waterfall. Anyways, just mixing it up a little bit. So while you all are thinking about your word or phrase, to our amazing panelists, if any of you are willing to share your contact info in the chat for reference. Lindsay, you already did. Thank you. Thanks, Esmeralda and Erica. All right, folks, are you ready for waterfall? Okay, we're going to wrap up our day and wrap up this session with huge thanks to this amazing team in Calexico, and for Julie and Lindsay for joining us and just sharing this amazing success story that that hopefully others will be inspired and just learn a little bit more about things that are out there that can really make a difference for students. Okay, I'm going to count down, and then we're going to do our waterfall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Building community in Calexico. You got it. Secret learning. Isn't that the truth? Creativity, team building, social skills, informative and productive. Student engagement. All right. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Hope that these have been worthwhile for those of you who are going to also be joining the symposium in person here in Sacramento. We look forward to seeing you. And thank you all. We are ending right on time. That is good news. So
Thank you to our host,
appreciate everyone.
Groll. Thank you for facilitating.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you all. I'm going to stop the recording and wish you all a great evening.